Hello everyone. Today we are going to see software testing unit 1 session 21. In the previous topic we have studied condition coverage or decision making coverage. It is one of the method of code coverage testing. So today we are going to see another code coverage testing method, that is path coverage. So what is a path coverage? To examine all possible paths of execution at least once. So this means in a coding, whichever the possible paths are available, those all paths has to be executed at least once. Especially the more concentration will be on the conditional statements, that is if condition, loop condition, switch statements and so on. So if you consider the conditional statement, so you are going to test here for both true part as well as false part and also other possible paths which comes by executing the true part and false part. So if you consider the loops, so in a loop you are going to test for value equal to 0, value greater than 0 and value less than 0. And also you are going to consider when it is going to enter in that particular loop and when it is going to come out of the loop, that is terminate the loop. And if you consider the switch statements, each possible branch, that is path, you are going to test of switch statements. So here the more focus will be on conditional statement and its all possible paths has to be executed at least once. You can use truth table for making sure that all possible combinations are covered by your test cases. So whenever the code conditional statements you take, write the truth table of that conditional statements and by that you will understand how many possible paths, how many different combinations are there in that truth table, and according to that you can test it. See, total paths exercised divided by total number of paths into 100. So you are going to consider total paths exercised divided by total number of paths. So these are the possible paths of a conditional statement. So this is one conditional statement where there is a true part and false part. So when you execute true part and false part, under that you may again have another conditional. Inside that again you are going to test true part and false part. So when you execute this false part, it may go to another conditional statement. In that again you have true part and false part. So when you execute again the true part, in that you again you have true part and false part. When you execute false part, in that you again you have true part and false part. So these are the various paths of a conditional statement. All possible paths has to be at least tested once. So you can see this in a form of a truth table. See this example. There are three conditional statements. This is condition 1, condition 2 and condition 3, which are combined into a single statement. So to understand the all possible paths of this condition, you can form the truth table. So this condition 1, condition 2 and condition 3. So each possible paths has to be different from each other. So in a test case 1, you take such value that the first condition must be false, second condition must be false and the third condition must be false. And for second test case, you take such value that the first condition must be false, second condition must be true and the third condition must be false. In the third test case, you are going to take such value that the first condition must be false, second condition must be false and the third condition must be true. So if you form like this way the table, you will understand out of this truth table how many possible paths you have tested and still how many paths you need to test. So this is the advantage of the path coverage testing. Based on the truth table, you are going to test all possible paths of a conditional statement. So let us understand this with help of an example. So this is the same example we have seen in the conditional statement, condition coverage statement example. So this is the pseudocode they have given. We are going to convert this into the flowchart so that we'll understand easily all the possible paths. How many possible paths come here? Let us see. So one by one we'll see. First path, that is 1A, 2B, E and 4F. You can see here. So 1A, this is the first path. Then 2B, that is if the condition is false, it is going to execute this path. Then it is going to come to the E path. And then 4F. So in the first path, we have taken if this condition is false, it is going to come to the E path. Even if this condition is false, it is going to execute the next 4F. So this was the false part. Then next path we have 1A, 2B, E, 4G and 5H. So 1A, this path it is going to execute. Then 2B path, see this path again it is going to execute. 2B path, and then it is going to execute E, and this time instead of false it is going to execute for the true part, that is 4G and 5H. So this was the second path. Next path we'll see this 1A, 2C, 3D, E, 4G and 5H. So it is going to execute 1A path. Then second path is 2C. Now this time it is going to consider true part. 2C, then 3D path, then E path, 4G and then 5H. So third path is all about the true part. Which is the fourth part? 1A, 2C, 3D, E and 4F. So which is that? So it is 1A, this path, and then 2C path, this path, then 3D path, then E path it is going to execute, and then 4F path. See now in the last path it has executed it, the true part of this, it has come here, and when it has come to the condition, so third path was, it has done the true part. Now the last part it has done for the false part. So here 4 possible paths will come for this 2 conditional statement. So you can see here. So for path coverage, at least 4 paths will come if you consider the conditional statement. So for path coverage is 4 here. So thus for the above code, see same code we have seen for statement coverage, where the one test case was enough for the statement coverage, and in the branch coverage, that is conditional coverage, where 2 test cases are enough, that is 1 test case for true part and 1 test case for false part. But whereas in path coverage, at least 4 test cases you need to cover all the possible paths. So difference between this condition coverage and path coverage is, in a condition coverage, you are going to test only the true part and false part. Once the true part is executed and once the false part is executed, you can achieve 100% of condition coverage. But whereas in path coverage, even if you execute true part and false part, you will not achieve 100% of path coverage, because again inside that you have true part and false part. Inside the conditional statement again you have true part, false part. So you cannot say that if you achieve 100% of condition coverage, you cannot say that you have achieved 100% of path coverage. But if you achieve 100% of path coverage, you can say that you have achieved 100% of condition coverage. Let us see another example. See, this is the function they have given, delete element, and inside that you have some code here, and for this code we have given the line numbers. So we have considered this 2 line as the first statement. This is the second statement. We have considered the conditional statement as third, and this is the fourth statement, fifth, sixth, and this is seventh. Now let us, how many paths we need here at least to test this function, all possible paths. So the more focused, we have to see the conditional statement here first. So you can see here, we need here at least 4 independent paths. So we need here 4 different inputs so that all possible paths will be covered by testing. So which is the first path here? You can see here 1 to 2 and 5 to 7. Come here, this side. 1 to 2, this. Okay, first it is going to execute this path. Then it is going to check for the loop. And if the loop condition is false, directly it is going to execute statement 5. It is going to come to the another condition. Now even if this is for loop is false, directly it is going to execute statement 7. So this is the first path, 1 to 2, 2 to 5 and 5 to 7. Next condition, next path. So next path is 1 to 2, 5 to 6 and 6 to 7. That is 1 to 2. This time this for loop is going to be false. So when this for loop is false, directly it is going to come to the statement 5. And this time this for loop is going to be true. When this is true, it is going to execute statement 6 and statement 7. So this is the second path, 1 to 2, 2 to 5 and 5 to 6 and 6 to 7. So third path we'll see, that is 1 to 2, 2 to 3 and from 3 again it is going to go to the statement 2. That means it is going to return back to the loop and then it is going to test for again 2 to 5, 5 to 6 and 6 to 7. That is, you can see. So 1 to 2, then this time, so this loop is going to be true now. So when this is true, it is going to execute statement 3. Now this statement 3 condition and it is going to be false. When this condition is false, it is going to return back to the loop and it is going to come out of the loop and it is going to go to the statement 5. And when it comes to the next loop and if it is true, then it is going to execute statement 5 to 6 and 6 to 7. This is the third path, from 1 to 2, 2 to 3. If the condition is false, again it is going to return back to the statement 2 and it is going to come out of the loop and then it is going to execute statement 5. If the loop is true, then it is going to execute statement 6 and 7. Next, path 4, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. See, from the statement 4 again it is going to return back to the loop and then it is going to execute 2 to 5, 5 to 6 and 6 to 7. You can see here. Last path, that is 1 to 2. Then this statement is going to be true now. So if this for loop is true, it is going to enter into this conditional statement. Now this time this conditional statement is going to be true now. Now this conditional statement is true, then it is going to execute statement 4 and after this it is going to return back to the statement 2, that is loop, and then it is going to come out of the loop and it is going to execute statement 5 and then this statement 5, this loop is false, then statement 5, now this is going to be also true now because after statement 5 we have statement 6 and 7. So this was the last path, 4. So for this path coverage you need at least here 4 test cases. You need here at least 4 test cases which will cover these 4 paths. And you can also see here flow graph. You can also draw the flow graph of the function or the program. That is, this is what called flow graph. And in this flow graph also you will understand all possible paths, that is true and false paths. So about these flow graphs we are going to see in the next topic. So for path coverage you can either draw the flow chart or the control flow graph. So next coverage we'll see function coverage. So this is also very important function coverage. So from a given set of program, total how many functions you have tested, that you are going to test here, that you are going to find out here. So identify how many program functions are covered by test cases. So you need to design the test cases where each function has to be tested at least once. So here also same function coverage can be calculated using same formula. Total function exercise divided by total number of functions in program. So functions are like, suppose in a particular module or sub-modules, total functions which are available like search bus type, advance bus ticket booking, or check departure time and arrival time, print e-ticket or cancellation, or any other functions. So these are the functions which are available in that particular ticket reservation program. So from this you will understand how many test cases you have completed testing and how many functions you have completed using those test cases and how many functions you have not completed. So advantage of function coverage. Functions are easier to identify a program and hence it is easier to write test cases to provide function coverage. It is easier to find total number of functions in a program and it is usually get to know whether you have tested that function or no. Since functions are at much higher level of abstraction, it is easier to achieve 100% of functions than any other methods. Yes, you can. Once you start checking any particular module or sub-module, so the more concentration will be on the functions. So easily you can achieve the 100% of function coverage here because the functions are very important and by that you'll understand, but by test cases you'll understand it. You can also measure how many times a given function is called. Even that can be measured in this function coverage. So in today's session we have completed path coverage and function coverage. In the next session we'll see with some new topic. Thank you.